go home, and a couple of teams will go home today at the end of all these best of ones. They're having a knife round at the moment. It's going to be Mirage that we're going to see, and I've only seen Vivo play Mirage once. It was back on the WSG qualifiers that we did. They had a convincing half, but it was against another South American team, the Malvinas, the one you spoke about when we were doing the pre-warm-up to the whole show, and it was a confident performance. It was 16-8 or 9.
Yeah.
And then Vivo Key, they've looked strong. They've definitely been practicing and boot camping beyond belief because they know this is a good chance from here. And it looks like we're going to get ourselves into game because they are going for that T side.
Well, we're jumping into this one again. A lot of question marks on this matchup, I guess you could say, in terms of not really knowing where it's going. Obviously, Vivo not having played internationally, and this the old eHome players at the very least, you know, only having a bit of experience outside of China. So, two regions that aren't well represented in the female scene up until now, but very excited to see how this game goes at the very least. Obviously, Team GoHome starting on the CT side. And I've got to say, we were talking about this a little bit before the game. I do love the name. I do love Team GoHome. Bit of a mock on the eHome roster that they were a part of, obviously the org. So we'll be seeing how they perform. We've got a hell of a lot of utility for Keyd in this pistol round. I'm very excited to see where this goes. Potential A smoke setup, but I'm not too sure just yet. We'll be jumping into this in just a second after the pause is up. We have a kit smoke on Simo. And again, thanks. I'm going to throw you right under the bus. Where's this going?
Well, I did get my last prediction right, not the scoreline, so I'm not going to go for a scoreline, right?
No.
I feel like
fine.
The Chinese team have a lot of unknown style, and I'm going to go say it again, like Chinese and Asian Counter-Strike, they can be fantastic aimers, they can have the skill there, they can work their magic. But Vivo Key, just knowing how much practice they've put into this, like we saw it before, is they were boot camping before events, they were getting themselves ready, they're taking this incredibly seriously. So I think they're going to have the edge here, and starting T-side as well, it doesn't matter, say, if they're not so warmed up for this first game, or they want a bit of time to get ready for it, because they can buy themselves some time almost, because Mirage is a pretty 50-50 even map. It can go either way, right? Yeah. So we look at a situation here where Vivo, if they have a really strong start to the T side, they gain that momentum. They're not having to deal with the economy issues as you do on the CT side, and they can be confidently pushing themselves further forward once they do swap over at the half.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes again. I'm going to go with Keyd just because we've seen them do so well domestically, but again, we don't know how that translates in terms of coming up against opposition, especially from a different region, a completely different region. And in terms of preparation for these other teams, you know, in terms of research, there's not a huge amount of maps to work off. As you said, we've only seen Vivo play Mirage just a singular time. But again, KeydStars, like, you looked at that name in Brazilian CS, it's a bit of a staple, obviously, the old, what is now SK, coming from that exact organization before they at least made their presence known at the top tier of male CS. And we should be jumping into this in just a second at the very least. We've got confirmation from the admins that they are going to be kicking it off with the game. I think they were just waiting on a timer there, so it's no problem. It's no problem. Here we go. Freeze time cancelled, so into the pistol round, no more jabbering. I'm just interested to see how Keyd are going to utilize these nades.
Now, the Chinese team, this is the best female Chinese team at the moment for sure, because they beat ETAB basically 2-1 for this spot, and they did the same thing for the WSG spot as well. So they've shown that they do it time and time again. They are the upper echelon of Chinese female Counter-Strike, where Vivo KeydStars, like we were talking about before, coming into this, they nearly lost out in the qualifier, but already we could see a fast push coming out here. The smoke's going across onto that A site. They start to push their way in.
Oh, look at the crossfire though. 129 going to get some damage off, but it's actually the kills going heavily in the favor of the Brazilians. Entries all over the bomb site and go home. Well, they're going to be going home for this round. They're already forced out. Cammy going to get aggressive. Another frag from her, and now KeydStars. This is their round on the board. 720 coming back in a 1v4 with just a USP. That's a bit optimistic. She's going to fall out, looking to maybe save the armor or try and catch some kills for a bit more money. Can help her buy up in the next round, but it's going to be her going down. So KeydStars first round on the board. Pretty good execute, standard stuff, getting the entries. GoHome seemed to have the setup on the A bomb site, but weren't able to hit the shots to make up for it.
Yeah, they definitely came practiced and prepared for that first pistol round here, and now we'll see them get up. It's an interesting move. We've got 2 AKs in there, 2 MAC-10s, 1 UMP to play with. We're seeing a B stat come out from the Chinese side as well. They're looking to take the gamble, and question is, will Vivo have any idea what's going on? Luckily, they're taking it slow. They're not just rushing in. We're having to see a little bit of a play towards middle. They're not taking any risks. I like this. They're not actually... You see how cautiously they're taking that corner? They don't want to meet a CZ head-on, face-to-face. They don't want to have to deal with that damage.
And this is how you should be playing the Antigos as well, not just rushing into a bomb site when you don't know the setup the GoHome are running. So Vivo, a very slow approach to this round, as you say, and it is going to be the perfect remedy. Mid-control obviously being the key focus here for Vivo. With rifles in play, they don't want to take close range angles, so control going to be taken up towards short. Looking to go for this B split, but they should work this out pretty quickly. Team GoHome sitting with a heavy stack, as we say. KeydStars beginning to walk on in. It's going to be Pan on the opener. How fast will they realize this is a stack? Leo, damage from the site. 720 going to follow up. Pistols going crazy here for the CT side, but Gabby does respond. 2 frags for her own, but it's only 2. Simo with the trade. Now Jultny is going to be in a 1v3. Has the AK, but has no head. As 129 will pick that up and GoHome on the board.
That's a hell of a lot lost, and that was a gamble that paid off massively there for the Chinese side. They made it work, they made the magic happen, and now we sit in a situation where it's 1-1, and Vivo, they have to be careful. You can't underestimate these players. You didn't have enough information before pushing into B, and now you paid the price for it.
Well, a setup here for Keyd. Lots of utility for this one as well. It is going to be Zena and Pan, the 2 players walking underpass, looking to split this connector here. Leo's in position with the M4, so a very dangerous gun. And slow for Keyd. It seems like they clearly are just waiting on Team GoHome to maybe get aggressive, try and work out if they can get a free pick, if GoHome walk into underpass potentially, but with no contact being made from the CT side, it's going to be the smoke execute. It's all down to whether Team GoHome expect this split up through middle. Leo, aggressive in the smoke. She's going to get fully blinded. Bazina has got a great position up towards connector, and they're going to boost the player into window. This creates further problems here for GoHome because they have no control towards window. Hazel's rotated in, and while she spots that player in connector, she won't spot Pan. Dead. And AK dropped over. Vivo can now play with this. They haven't got the bomb down just yet, but that's a double entry. Trade eventually coming through for Leo. There's a second kill from her as well. 3rd even found. Leo is mowing down these players on the bomb site, but she'll eventually fall.
2 versus 2 now. It's still a good chance for Vivo to try and make it work here, despite only starting with the P250. Joltny was spotted out by 720, but she wasn't ready for it. She didn't expect it as Gabby takes down Simo. 2 versus 1 now, and Gabby has done so much work, coming with the triple kill. Got a molly to play with as well, and they still haven't managed to grab the bomb and decide if they're going to plant it yet. 720 low on health, 33 to play with, takes down Joltny. Doesn't actually any further damage. It's a good chance, but Gabby, aggressive. She goes and pushes for it rather than even going for the plant. Tried to get it down at the end to grab that extra money. Didn't quite manage to make it happen, but Vivo, they bounced back. They came back into this, and even with the P250s, they made it work, really showing their stuff early on here. And that's a great thing for them, is to not allow it to hinder them. Like, don't just crush out of after getting forced up and beaten. Yeah,
looking prepared. Nice to see executes coming up from the Keyd side already in 2 out of the 3 rounds we've seen. We've seen smoke executes, we've seen splits, looking pretty good. Back into B they go, but this time GoHome aren't forcing, so they don't have a great buy into this one. Jolt's just going to run on in and double entry with a Mac-10. That's some money made, Banks. Keyd are going to be able to run wild over this round, and GoHome aren't going to be able to stop it. Scout trying to hold for exits at the very least, but Joltly tagged twice, down to 24, finished off. You've got to be careful not to give away too many guns here if you're Keyd, because you want to have at least money moving forward into that next buy. Hazel coming in with a team as well, but it's going to be Leo drop. Hazel only another tag before she gets finished off. Cammy, nice 3K.
Yeah, solid stuff with the FAMAS in hand. And okay, I saw what Joltny was trying to do there before she went down, but she's just playing incredibly aggressive. She is trying to just show dominance here and really just slap down the Chinese team before they can build anything up. But you got to be careful of that, because they're showing already that they can fire back.
Well, pop flash from middle. This is a nice flash. It means Hazel can peek anyone with that P250. And they should be blind if they're watching the window, but instead it's a B play once again. Keyd, they're just flexing their muscles here, running straight into the site. Joltny with the first entry again. She's going to come in with a Mac-10. Can she follow up? There's already a wrap in the market, but she doesn't check the right side. Runs out of ammo, and Hazel will drop her. So that's a gun picked up, but a small consolation. This round should still be Keyd's, but look at this. Already the CT's coming in with frags. Hazel not going to check the close corner. Miscommunication from the Chinese side, and now 2 players up on the CTs. They're going to get mowed. 720 last up. But look at the bomb.
Bombs making the smart decision here. Why challenge when you're having a bit of a firefight on your hands? 720 does now have the Galil to work with, so she can do some damage. We'll find herself on AK-47 now, actually, so the upgrades are there. The question is whether she saves or goes for it, and it looks like she will opt to save. She thought about it. She walked towards it like, do I go for it?
My rule is, if you're in a 1v2, you never save. No matter the situation, no matter the health, pretty much, by and large, unless the time's low or you really are just crippled by your health. But this is so doable. But I do understand saving, of course. The money not the best for GoHome. And again, a bit unlikely she would win this round. Maybe if she pre-rotated in time, she could have stopped that bomb going down, taken a 1v1 before the plant came through. But either way, Keyd are going to be happy with that. 4-1 up on the T side again. We've been seeing T sides kind of be the staple for female CS so far, being far more dominant, and Vivo showing us why.
We will have it tick down, and 720 was hoping that she'd find an exit at least to take some weapons away from the Brazilian side here, but she won't be able to find anything as we hear it get to 4-1. But she will save herself the AK, and that's going to be big for giving herself the money and helping her team out a little bit going into this round. But this is the all-important one. We've seen the back and forth after the force, and it's been a little bit chaotic. Now it's time for GoHome to show their stuff. Hazel up on the AWP. Plenty of utility, actually. They've got a really strong buy here. And 720, if she can make that AK rain, then we're going to see a very good defense here coming out from the CT side up against what Vivo are trying to do. But they have started off on a slower style here with Gabby trying to come through Palace and just lurk around a little bit, be that distraction on the A side.
Yeah, just a default setup for Keyd. Some fake smokes towards B maybe, but they do have the bomb coming up through short. I like this setup actually. They do want to split the B site to short. They even have Gabby up in the Palace on A to catch a rotating player maybe through the jungle. GoHome obviously focused on A at the same time. 720 is going to open up onto B, so that's a wallbang to pan. That was actually through the wall up on the B apartment, so well played to start things off, and 129 going to follow up as well to Gabby. Juntly does come in through the connector, so one frag from short. There's now Keyd. They pull it back into a 4-on-3, but still at a player disadvantage. They do have time to work with, though. And back towards B they'll set up, and especially with Bazina in the underpass can split up through that stairwell at least to come up into the apps. And with one player on the B site, if they take down Simo, this could be theirs.
Well, now we sit in a situation where, okay, Vivo are on the back foot. They can still make it work. They've just got to find that initial pick, but the information's already been given away. They are coming into this B bomb site. They've managed to duck around them, but she's still got one. Simo managing to hold strong. She's done her job at least to keep the numbers in their favor and hold it up for their team. But Joltney, she is playing amazing. 4 kills across the board there. She's looking strong. Okay, she's got 12 health now, but she's basically single-handedly won the round here for Vivo, unless 129 can come up with something huge.
And we know what the Brazilian passion is like. We know what these girls are going to be feeling right now. Hyped up, pumped, and ready to go, especially with that 4K coming in. Just showing confidence so early into this matchup. They are looking far better than I ever would have expected, even with saying they were the dark horse of this group. Currently decimating GoHome, I guess you could say, and with little money on this team, apart from on 720, it's by and large an eco. Some investment. Again, the B stack that worked out earlier in the map, but Keyd is so much better equipped for this. Full rifles, AWP on Cammy. They won't be going for a quick B rush up against pistols in this round. 720's up on short with that 1 UMP in play for the CTs, but Vivo, very standard, taking the underpass. Again, the top mid has been a bit of a focus for them so far this half. We've got one up in the Palace as well. This is their default, but 129 even going to get aggressive in the absence. She shuts down Pan.
There's a lot of this solo play going on from the Brazilian side, and this is where it starts to get a little bit scary for them. Like, there's only so many rounds that Joltney or Cammy can come up with like big numbers to make it happen. If they keep allowing one player to go down early on and put themselves in a deficit, it's eventually going to make them pay the price.
Let's see if we can see a trade from Keyd, though. A late refrag. 720 is in the perfect position to make this happen. Will they check it? Yes, but doesn't seem to matter. Kill comes through and damage to Joltney. 4 kills in the previous. She's going to need a big effort once again. Bazina, though, will follow up. But Gabby even takes down a player, splitting in on that A bomb site. They line up on A. And even though the gun's taken by Hazel, she's got no armor. She's on the wrong side of the map. It's a 1v2 where you definitely attempt, but how much can she get done? Utility up on the T side, and the bomb going down as well. Vivo are well set up for this round, and with that Molotov going down, Hazel may just consider the straight-up save.
The thing is, they're so low as well, so she realistically had a chance. That Molly, though, a big reason why she decided to fall back a little bit there. She's going to Start to push round though. Business in a really good spot. We'll check it, nice and easy for her. Good time when she walks around. Hazel didn't look the right direction.
Nice
the
hat.
spray comes in.
That's good.
Giving her
I
a
like
hat.
that.
Giving her a hat and giving it a 6-1 now as GoHome. They've had a few close rounds here, but they've not been able to really piece it all together. Again, we're going to see them come with the buy. We got the AWP in play on Hazel, but can she make it work? Cammy's actually picked up one herself as well, so we might see a bit of a firefight come out there if the stars align.
Yeah, unfortunate as well, Hazel was playing the connector when she first picked up the AWP, but now she's back to window, so Cammy on the ramp won't see her yet. Still, it's a slow round for Keyd. They've been running this default quite a lot here, but it seems like GoHome haven't worked out how to counter it just yet. It is that double player connector push through the underpass. Same play we saw earlier with the smokes coming over the A site. Nice flash to the underpass, but no one pushes with it. Bazina holds. And with the smokes now coming over, these players through the connector are going to split. Does 720 expect it? She better check it. She does. There's one. Doesn't even need to go in for the repeat. Although she does and she finds a second frag, that will shut down the split of Vivo. Will they be able to make up for it? Apparently not. Hazel hits a shot with the AWP and no trades found yet. Vivo are getting massacred on this A-bomb site. Gabby finally going to find one, but it's too little and too late.
Yeah, devastating round there for the Brazilian side. 720 got the first kill. Going for that push was a risky play to repeat it, managing to make it work. Solid stuff from her, but ultimately the read there for GoHome was, okay, we know this is going to come towards A. Rotation came in.
Yep.
Hazel brought her AWP over, and that was it. Game over. You weren't getting through that. Three-woman stack even from team GoHome on that A site.
Honestly, I won't lie. I'd like to see an actual matchup come, but both these teams individually are already looking better than the games we saw earlier. They seem very messy in terms of the duels, but the aim on these players is pretty nutty in comparison, I'd say. Jultney has been getting some sick shots with the AK, and if she can continue, this could lead Keyd to success. And again, that's what they're looking for here in this round as they rush up mid. 720, another big effort. Frag comes through and she falls back off the angle. Aggressive as the previous round, maybe looking to re-engage, but Jultney is low. Can't afford to lose another player here if you're Vivo. So she holds on, waiting for 720 to maybe re-aggress. Good angle. Will she walk into it to no? 720. Oh, maybe reconsidering that to death. Jultney trades and back into a 4-on-4 as Hazel now has to be aware of that ladder room. She certainly is, but Vivo, they're going back to their standard A play. They have a bit of utility for this as well.
Yeah, still all to play for. There's no real advantage across the board here. As we start to see, very smart coming out there from Simo. Able to push all the way around, got all the information to say it over. The A push is going to come in, and 129 manages to get one, but she's backed up Leo. Simo finding frags across the map, and it's only Cammy left alive. AK in hand, and trying to just brought the pain in the last two rounds. Team GoHome making it happen, making it work, and just taking them duels, taking the big firefights and coming out top.
Yeah, nice work from GoHome as well to actually send that player, Simo, as you said, up in the apartments, gets aggro, gets the information that Vivo late into the round and not splitting into B, so it's got to be an A play or a late round mid. So instead they rotate Hazel off of the B bomb site and move her actually into... Oh, you're turning off my mic, Banks. Cheers. Turn her into, move her into CT spawn. So having a very good A setup for that play is now Keyd back to pistols and not really much else, just smokes and flashes. They'll go straight over the A-bomb site. Team GoHome playing for a retake, but with the Molotov going in, delaying this push out of the apartments, they may consider contesting this, already looking to the fight. It's 129's under the balcony. They're going to run out of the ramp at least. 129 shuts it down, and so does 720. It's numbers all over the board, and it's a 4th round for GoHome.
Strong showing again. They're dealing with the rushes with no problem. Obviously, that wasn't really a hard one to deal with. There wasn't any like mass utility being used to really force them around or out of positions, but they weren't really given the chance in that. And GoHome now, they're getting a chance to build some confidence, put some rounds on the board. Vivo, they need to now come back into this. All guns blazing, but they just, like I said, they can't be relying on just pushing in and taking the aim fights, and that's being shown here early on.
Well, B split looks to be the plan, but do they realise 720's flank? She spotted the bomb. Full rotate can instantly come in, and she can mow down the opposition. There's the first. Trade back for Pan.
Wow.
A big kill is found from Keyd, but will they get more? Because Simo's still on the B site, and so is Hazel, having rotated with the orb. Simo, angle found, bomb dropped, and it falls out the apps as well. The split through short should be expected, but Hazel not ready. Gabby with the entry, and Pan follows up with her second kill, so Viva are on the site. CT's now very slow on this rotation despite seeing the bomb a while ago in the round. Bazina may be able to catch a short player, and if she does, this round might be over.
Yeah, that was really smart. It looked like it was going once again in favor of the Chinese team, but instead, Vivo, they split it up. They came from all different directions. One player coming from short, two from apartments. And they managed to at least wrap round there and deal the damage. 129 is left, and she's going to walk straight into it. Nice easy frag coming up there. Now Vivo have managed 7. They do manage to turn this around, but at least there's bank to work with. Simo up on nearly 12k there, making it a little bit easier for GoHome to stomach that loss.
And so many rounds on this T side as well. Obviously, we talk about this being a fairly more equal map as times go on and T sides improve. But 7-4, good start definitely for Keyd. GoHome, the AWP, that's going to be posted back to the connector, but this time Keyd are hitting up and towards the apartments again with control towards short. Look at this double short play. We've got 720 and Leo. Gabby's going to run through a Molotov up on ramp just to try and keep control in the way of the T side. And this double short boost may come in. 720 damage, but it's not enough. Joltney knows there's a second player there because of the boost. So Vivo, they may hit this A site instead as they wrap the bomb back through spawn. They give up apps. Hazel's come in with the AWP, but they still have the smoke for this. They have the Molotovs. Vivo, well poised for this A attack. Nice reaction.
Vivo are not going to take any risks on this A site. They're trying to find a CT player, but it's only going to be one. It's Hazel there. Oh, in hand, she finds the first kill. How many more can she get, though, as they start to push their way onto the bomb site? Bizner in a really good spot. Simo thought she was completely safe coming through there, but instead, she finds her safe, taking a face full of lead from the AK-47. As there's an advantage for the T side at the moment with the bomb back down. Joltney's low, though, but trying to retake this if you're GoHome with that much utility is going to be very difficult. Just one smoke, one flash to play with here. Trying to push in is going to be very hard. They really need a good kill like that to come in as Leo finds one. Cammy's in a good spot. Will it be checked out? The smoke gives her that little extra advantage. She comes in with a second one. Beautifully done. And then the third. She just went absolutely huge to bring out that last round. A very good round coming out from Vivo. Now puts him in 8-4, and Team GoHome's money is starting to dwindle.
Yeah, 5k on a couple, but 1 to 3 on the others. So this is definitely an eco for GoHome. You don't want to invest into this kind of round. Put some pistols, put some armor, and get some utility, why not? But in terms of a full buy, that'll be coming in the next, as Keyd very close to giving GoHome the max loss bonus. It's starting to build up bit by bit. Smoke set up towards A again. Look at the mid aggression, though, from GoHome. They pushed all the way up. It's only 720 under the A balcony on the A bomb site. She's going to need a big effort here. Molotov forces her out, and Joltney will force her down. Already the first kill. Make it 2 as well. Leo's the only player to trade, but she's going to be dead straight away. So Keyd are running rampant over the bomb site again, and there's no response for GoHome, as you would expect with the pistols and the stack towards middle. But still looking like a good round here for the T side. 9 on the board should be a likelihood here, unless Hazel has a huge round.
Oh, she knows it. She got a good read. Can't find the frag, though. Wanted to do some damage before she lost her life, but 9-4 Vivo. They've shown their stuff across this T side, and I think maybe they learnt a little bit from what the Chinese team started to show towards them. Was actually, okay, we can't get away with just playing the crazy rush style. We've got to slow it down a little bit. We've got to play a little bit smarter with this. But this is the round that Team GoHome need to bring up here. Hazel's gone for the window push again. She's going to look for the angle. The smoke's going to push her out of position, though. Nice smokes being used by Vivo. It's key to making sure that Hazel can't take the angle she wants and gives them the advantage to take a bit of control towards middle and keep the map split up, which is exactly what Vivo are doing. The one thing I don't want to see is just too many players go one by one, because that's the problem they had when GoHome were getting all the rounds, but Leo walks straight into it. She gets shut down straight away. Cammy ending the previous round very confidently with the AK, now on the AWP, making it work.
Yeah, but now with a pick going the way of Keyd, we need some aggression on the CT side, so that's why 129 pushes. She wants to find the trade, but instead gets traded herself. Gabby following up, and now Keyd in a 2-player advantage, looking to hit the B bomb site. Bit of a risk here for GoHome to actually go for a 1-1-1 setup. You usually want to stack in this situation, hope you get lucky, because it can be very difficult for one player to hold down an entire bomb site against a rush. 4 players up in the apartments, and the 5th coming soon. That'll be Gabby, although she looks to go through mid, try and catch that split, try and get a rotate maybe. But with all the time in the world here for Vivo, they actually allow time for GoHome to rotate a second player in, maybe a third as well. Look at this stack. This is perfect for the Chinese side. They might be able to win this round after all, even with the advantage away of the T's, but it's a 1-for-1. That's not good enough. 30 seconds up. Pam with a second entry. They may not expect the third. As Hazel sits in the smoke, they're going to jump over the top. She still hasn't been spotted, so Ninja Defuse maybe if they run past her. I think maybe that's what she's opting for, not showing her face.
Oh, she saw Pan then. If Pan jumps back up, This could be a little bit of a problem for Hazel. She's in a really good spot.
Oh,
could this actually be happening?
Pan's checking it. Pan knows. Oh, the no-scope from Hazel. It won't be enough. But Pan, very aware, very ready for that.
Yeah, I'm really happy she checked it because that could have been a crazy moment to come in and lose there. But my God, I bet Hazel was sat there thinking, okay, this is happening. No one's checking it. We've got this. We can make this work. Instead, it goes 10-4 in favor of the Brazilians. 1 round left of the first half. It's been a very dominating performance from the Brazilians. They dropped 3 in a row, which gave GoHome a chance, right? They built some economy. They were able to work it. But ultimately, it has been the Vivo show.
Yeah, and we've been seeing good executes from them as well. Not just individually as their aim looking nice, but also, you know, they seem to have fallbacks. They seem to at least be able to react to losing a player or two and you know, while GoHome are the exact same in terms of like trying to equalize this player advantage when the pick comes through for Keyd, it's just been aim battles that have been won by the Brazilians, looking very, very strong in that department. I really want to see these teams versus the North Americans now, because I think that's something so far that we've seen that is already better. In terms of aim, Keyd look better than Dignitas earlier, I'd say individually. But that's
Bold statement. I'm looking forward to these games.
No, I'm sticking with that. If it carries on this way, if Keyd win this and they play Dignitas in the upper bracket, that's a whole nother story. But we're into another round. GoHome. Not a lot to work with, in fact, because it's the last round of the half. They force things up. We've got a scout on Hazel. 1 rifle, 2 SMGs, a CZ. This is really not the best buy. It's a charity shop here for the GoHome side, and already a Molotov burning out Simo. She's going to get aggressive with her own molly as well. Keyd being very slow and calculated, but they're stacked up in the B-bomb site.
Oh, Simo. That jump's going to give her a lot of information to work with, but how much can she get done here? You notice straight away Vivo, they start to fall back. They don't want that early rotation come in. They don't want to be stabbed in the back like they've had happen to them previously when 720 came from underpass to make it work. This is a good decision making from the Brazilian side, and they catch 129 trying to flank them. That's not going to happen. And for the final round with such a limited buy here on the Chinese side, this is the worst thing you want to happen. The fact that Vivo have actually changed positions, and we even see it now. Joltney, she's so aggressive, all alone at B. She just wants them kills. If she comes around at the right timing, 720 could have seen her, but she's not been given the options yet. She's taking it slow, and they will manage to take her down. So they've evened up into a 4 versus 4. But does this change it up and make him think that it is definitely going to be a B push now? No over-rotating coming in. Leo's in a really good spot if this doesn't get checked. She's wanting to push away, but she's so worried that someone's going to come from Palace. Nice easy first frag, gets the second as well, making it work. 720 in with 1 as well. It's all up to Cammy, 1 versus 3, AWP in hand. Spray comes out from 720, was looking confident, but she can't make it connect.
No time. 10 seconds. I don't think she can do
Just
it.
go.
It's all
Just
over.
go.
Yeah, gotta go for a ballsy play here. Not gonna happen. Nice reaction from GoHome there. Nice work on that A-bomb site from Leo with 2 kills. And especially 720 with a 3-piece as well. So it's 5 rounds on the board for GoHome, but again, a far more dominant side for the Brazilians, which is, I wouldn't say surprising considering how good that we saw them at WSG, but impressive considering that was a T-side of Mirage.
I would say T-side, they started off really strong there, and now on their CT, they just got to make sure they don't hold that same aggression, right? Because I think if they go that aggressive against the Chinese side when they're on the T-side, it's going to be a thing that they're going to eat like almost a similar scoreline. So this still has a good potential to be close here.
Definitely. I mean, we talked about this earlier on Inferno, right? It was 9-6 in favor of T's, and it went to OT. You know,
exactly.
Both teams very, very prolific on the T side and very, very good at the T side. So maybe we could be seeing the same story here for GoHome. What have they got up their sleeve? It's a smoke towards the middle area. 720 with a CZ to go alongside with that, and just a fast hit here for the GoHome side. The smoke's in window. Pan can't find an angle. So GoHome given a lot of positioning here. They're allowed to get up short, and with the bomb up in apartments as well, this is looking like a bit of a B split. It's all down to whether GoHome are going to be able to find those entries and whether Keyd realize. You can already see them questioning that rotation. Yes, and Cammy moves back towards B. Pan gets caught in the window as a smoke fades. So GoHome catch them off guard. Joltney back in the A site alone. Are they still going to commit to B with that pick through window? No.
Team GoHome have got a good chance here, but can they make it work? Joltney, I love that she's not going too over-aggressive. She didn't manage to take the first frag. They're going to push her a little bit now. This is scary for the Chinese team. They're walking straight into it. There's multiple players. Their business found one in the meantime as well. Hazel, though, Glock in hand, making it rain. devastating them. 2v2 now, but look where the bomb's going. It's all the way over to the B site, and she's running with it. She's giving it legs because she wants to go and catch the CTs off guard. Leo's position as well could be really a thing that Vivo just are not going to expect. So they're going to notice that this is going to be a B push. Gabby doesn't look for it. One goes down. Now it is now into a 1v1. She's had 3 kills already, and she thinks it's A still, surely?
Yeah, surely you'd know it's B. That
Yeah,
part comes in.
you've got to think.
720 with a CZ and low HP on Bazina. This should be perfectly fine for 720 to win the whole Bazina. Quick tap to the head. 11 rounds on the board for Keyd. What a round.
I'm praising our observer at this point because I would have definitely gone over to Hazel at that point. She comes in, makes it work, no armor, and that's what you pay the price for, right? You end up getting domed. 4 kills for Bizina, and she came into her own to make that round possible.
And all headshots as well.
Oof, that USP aim.
Looking good on Keyd as well. With that pistol, GoHome could have at least tried to pull this comeback, but now it's going to be made a lot harder. Luckily, the bomb goes down, so they can buy that 3rd round on this T side. But it's an eco here, running the old existence maybe, going for the no tac pause, just sitting in spawn talking, but no. They'll buy up a little bit. And actually, I'd say an over-investment here from GoHome. I'll be interested to see how this affects their 3rd round buy. If they get the bomb plant, that will negate this buy and it won't be a big issue. Well, I mean, I say that. It's 1,500 investment on one of these players. It certainly will hurt her, but a bomb down, I think, at the very minimum is needed here for GoHome. They've invested quite a lot. If they want utility in that that 3rd round of the half, it's going to be very, very difficult. But they go for the fast A play. No smokes to allow this to happen. Already the entries coming in for Simo. 1 kill, doubles from the CTs, and Simo will double down with her PT50, sorry. Bazina rotating in through the jungle and jauntily clearing up from the CT spawn. So Keyd get back in, but with that bomb plant, it certainly means GoHome should be able to buy here.
Yeah, they did their job for sure. And one thing I just noticed as well, it was 10-5 both halves on the first game. It's 10-5 this half.
9-6 on Inferno.
10-5.
Oh, did I get that wrong?
Yeah, it's 10-5. We did cast the game together, Hugo.
I mean, you weren't really there for half of it. Your mic wasn't working, mate, so I don't know.
Yeah, we've got no mic problems. We're on a positive now. It's been 10-5s across the board.
I still believe it's my fault. My fault.
It's all good. I still say that GoHome could pull their way back into this one.
Yeah,
Vivo are playing solid, but even though you've got 12-5, it doesn't guarantee anything. When you're going up against a team like GoHome that can rely on that aim side of things, I think that Vivo have to be slightly wary of that. Like I said, they can't play that aggressive style. Not against these.
Well, let's see how this first buy round goes for the T's on this half. A lot of pressure riding on this round. If they don't pick it up, Keyd are going to be up to 14 before you even know it. A possible eco coming in next round. A light by Hazel spots Johnny in mid. Oh. That's all because she gets caught out. And there's so many smokes that CTs can't trade, but they fade and Bazina gets 1. Still Hazel keeps it strong though, as GoHome take another frag, and that's 1 to B for Gabby. So a 3-on-3 in play. And Vivo don't need to get aggressive here. Cammy going to get caught from the underpass, but she's ready for it. Takes down 720 and back in the hands of Keyd.
That was huge from Cammy as well. If she hadn't got that kill, I would have said that's a round done because GoHome was starting to make the magic happen. But it was this aggression. Jolty pushed far at mid, making it work, and wasn't able to make a capitalized kill off it. Now Hazel, in a 1 versus 3, Cammy still managed to get that kill as well on 15 health. Was pretty solid. But now Hazel, she's waiting for someone to make a mistake. She's waiting for someone to push out. And let's be honest, Vivo aren't going to allow that to happen in this situation. She's made noise now. Did Pan not hear that?
No. Pan didn't hear it. She's completely blindsided watching the A bomb site. Hazel's going to get a free kill here. There's the first. Maybe a second. Cammy's low. And now she's dead. Hazel looking for the ace here in round number 3 of the second half. 30 seconds left. Gabby gives up the bomb that she spots in top mid to wrap round through the spawn. But this is a good call because if Hazel hits A, which is certainly possible, Gabby could win this round. I think she might go for B though, considering she's closer. Yeah. Going through the apartments. Gabby's made the wrong call here. Maybe she didn't spot the bomb because I feel like she's just going to have enough
time. This is going to be right to the wire plant. And then you've got a plant position where obviously Gabby's going to have no information to work with here.
No kit.
No kit, no information. Won't know where it's been planted. Go plant, please, Hazel.
Oh, she's just got it. I was slightly
scared. Just touch and go. Yeah, I was worrying like she was going for the kill. But Gabby's now going to come round. She can be fast. She's got the incendiary grenade, a flash smoke, and a grenade to work with. But so has Hazel. She's got enough to work with as well. This is a really even duel here. Hazel, can she make it work? Can she go in for the ace? Gabby's taking her time working her way around.
Oh, no.
Smoke goes down. She sprays it out. Manages to make it work. The ace coming out from Hazel. 1 versus 3 clutch to secure that round for the Chinese team. And the Brazilians will now be on the back foot because their money is not exactly strong. Only 2 players realistically could buy here. Do they want to force for it or not? GoHome, they've come to play and they're bringing their A game.
That round was a requirement to pull this one back, but with one player surviving, Vivo will opt for the Force. This makes sense because GoHome don't have a lot of money. You can see their buy here. CZ, Galil, Mac-10, and that's not due to them hunting ecos. That's due to them not having the cash because they lost 4 players in the previous round. So Vivo trying to exploit their money game by forcing things up. See if they can get anything done. Simo already up to the connector. She's only got a CZ, so she's pretty much on par with the CTs themselves. 2 frags on the CT side. It's double traded back. And now Vivo certainly got a run for the money now into this eco round. They are going to be looking to isolate this mid kill on 720. Caught out of position by the 2 players getting aggressive. That's a gun given to Vivo. And with a player advantage as well, no utility left for the T side, they've got to hit their shots. Cabby coming in with 1, but Leo's going to find the shot. Looking for the second, and Leo maybe even a third. There it is. Keeping things strong for GoHome, but a close round nonetheless.
Very strong round from the Chinese team. 2 rounds in a row, and you know what happens when you get the ace situation right? They get the hype because they probably didn't expect to win that round. 1 versus 3.
No.
Hazel brings it out the bag, and then they can sit there and they must have been screaming and shouting with each other. You're on a land situation, you're in a hyped game. You feel like now you can come back into this when you're at a massive deficit. Remember, it was 12-5. Now we're at 12-7. It starts to look a little bit more realistic here for the T side. And they're only going up against pistols now for Vivo. This could give you a 12-8 potentially. There is definitely a way for the Chinese team to come into this.
Yeah, close game should be on our hands here. We are going to see those smokes rain over the A-bomb site. I like the execute. They use 4 smokes, so a lot of utility, but this should be good. Issue is there's pistols in play, so these are great at close range, although USP is maybe not the same story. Either way, it doesn't seem to make a difference here for the CT side. I like that execute, though, from GoHome. They don't go for the standard jungle and CT smokes. They actually just, like, keep the CTs who are in the site, such as balcony or under balcony or just default, trapped in the site, forcing to take gunfights. And that's not going to work out when you have so many AKs running up. And you know, the max you're going to have are 2 CTs in that bomb site, realistically. And they have no teammates to trade because of the smoke. So, nice work from GoHome. Good execute, showing promise here on this T side, and they are going to be picking up their 8th, as you said, but here's the buy here from Vivo.
This is a key round that Vivo need. Cammy up on the AWP again. Now she has had a few solid rounds of it, but this is the all-important one. If we do see an A execute come out, she needs to be hitting all of them shots. Joltney's in a really good position as well. So that's kind of like a dream team here for the A site. If the Chinese team did try to execute.
Oh, no.
Gabby, the aggression there, falls in. Bizen comes in with a flash to make sure she's protecting her team. But now the Chinese, they've got to react. They've got to do something big here. And they're going to try and push onto the A site. Little do they know what they're waiting for, though, because this could be a scary situation. And at the moment, 129 is being held back quite a bit there. 720 is going to come through underpass. Now, I know she's going quite slow. She's playing that lurk role, but with them being down a player already, to come onto this A site, they need everyone there now.
And the smokes have faded. GoHome went for the execute, but the Molotov delayed them. Now they haven't pushed, and they've only got 1 smoke left. Their strategy's gone out the window here. Yes, they have flashes and Molotovs, but now they're just completely relying on 720. If she gets an entry, maybe they win this round. Without that, it could be Vivo's. 720 coming through the connector, though, and Pam will be ready for it. That's already the round thrown up into the air. GoHome going to need to hit their shots, and they certainly start off. Cammy trades on the CT spawn. Now the rotations coming in from Vivo, but we can still see a bomb plant for GoHome if they go safe. Cammy's Molotov'd off. As GoHome get that plant in, they're now in a doable round, but post-plant's going to be found as Vivo come in for that retake.
Yeah, that was a big first kill there as well for Cammy. That was impactful because it manages to at least slow down this rush, allowing the rotators to come over. Now you've got a 3 versus 2. Leo looking the wrong way, not even having a check towards CT spawn. Pays the price for it as well. Now it's all up to 129. She can hear the defuse taking place. Bizen is ready and waiting. That's just way too easy for the Brazilian side. Really good retake. 3 left alive, and now they're going to put the T side in a very difficult situation where they'll still have the buy to play with, but now the rounds are slipping away once again and not in their favor.
Yeah, great map so far from Vivo. But we've seen lots of signs from life in terms of this T side from GoHome. They've managed to pick up 3 rounds, and they've at least shown that they came prepared for this. They've got executes, and maybe they have one towards B now or mid. Smoke set up towards the top of mid, and I think there was a window smoke as well for GoHome. So they're going to send Hazel into there. She's been an absolute star for this team so far. Lots of rounds dragged in their favor. An ace as well, 1v3. Gabby does spot the B site, but she's going to be jumping smoke down to stop the T's from pushing up. And yeah, this does look like a B execute so far with the players coming in through the apartments and that bomb to split up short, but Pam wants to contest it in the connector, and she has a really good angle for shutting this one down. GoHome slowed into this one, and they give up A as well. That signifies this is more than likely going to be a B take as well. They use Leo to check the short position, make sure no one's aggressive. Simo with a deep Molotov won't catch out that player on the balcony. And with Gabby, actually no, it does. Gabby's going to have to be forced off. She gets aggressive into the apartments to counteract that, but a minute on the clock and Team GoHome, they're going to hit this B bomb site.
Gabby's in a really good spot though to do some damage if it's left unchecked. Flash goes in, they don't even look. She sprays down one, finds two, and she's done her job. Now it's up for her team to start the rotation over to try and secure another round on the board. Team GoHome though, they're not fully confident. They want to commit to this. They're going to try and turn this around, and there's no one currently in the A site. Cammy's in a really good spot though to do damage. She just needs to hit one, pop flush herself away, and get out of there. If she can get this first kill, it's going to be huge. They start to move further forward. Misses the first one though. The peak comes out. They were ready for it, but great use of the incendiary grenade. Gives her a chance to fall back, move out of position, make it work. And we'll come back in to secure this A side, but all the information is now with the Brazilian side. And with 15 seconds to go, the Chinese team, they need to get a move on. They need to hurry up here. They cannot afford to even really take any fights. They just need to rush into the site at this stage. It's not going to happen. And there it's gone. Bomb is down. Pan finds a kill. 129's the only one left. And she doesn't want to die after time. She did get Joltony, but that's it.
That was some fantastic counter-strike from Cammy, though. She really knows her role. Not to take that fight. You get the Molotov down. She could have just stayed in the connector and gone for a peek, but the risk-reward there is you lose your player. Knowing there's 20 seconds left, instead of even risking her going down, she just wraps towards the CT spawn, knowing that her teammate up in, I think it was Pan up in jungle, has that rotation caught. Doesn't get the kill, gets a hell of a lot of damage, though, slows down the push, and GoHome go, we have to get the plant, we have to rush, and then that's when Cammy strikes. So, perfect counter-strike, knowing exactly how she should play it and not over-aggressive. A lot of teams have made that mistake. 7:20 into this round is changing things up. Aggressive towards the underpass once again. And fast with the UMP, nets her a free AK. The issue is, again, she's low, and Vivo are still well equipped for this round. You can't quite say the same story for the Chinese. 2 players on pistols, 1 on a Galil. And look at the utility for the T side, a smoke and a flash. The T side has been so dependent on these smoke executes, and now they can't even do that.
Cammy didn't overface on that one either. She just bided her time a little bit, didn't shoot before she needed to, took the kill. And like you were saying about the previous round there, Hugo, the fact that Cammy knows her player role so well is giving them just the upper hand in this scenario. She's not playing for the frag, she's playing for the team, and that's what's going to win you a game of Counter-Strike. That's what's going to make it happen. 7:20 on very low health though. She's making her way towards middle. They're not going to go for the window boost. They're going to sneak their way up through connector. Pan's ready and waiting though. Noise has been made. That's the element of surprise taken away completely. Are they going to check it? Goes for Pan. Does go down. Nicely done by 7:20. But there's still, it's a very difficult situation to deal with. Cammy finds one before going down. Oh no.
Oh, this is the worst timing in the world. 7:20 might catch a free kill, but she's going to get backstabbed. Here's the footsteps and Gabby trades.
The damage she did to Gabby though. From 100 to 10 instantly. Great timing and read from 7:20. She's done her work. And now they've got to look for 129, who's got plenty to play with here because no one knows any idea of where she'll be.
And this is well played from 129. She puts a plant there. She doesn't play for the bomb. Gabby's going to expect a ramp position. You wouldn't expect a CT post plant here. She's completely blindsided. 129 sneaking around the angle. She might have to run, but she has the shot. Well played from 129. Knows that Gabby's never going to expect CT spawn in that scenario. And Team GoHome, another round on the board. This game is not over, Banks. 9-14 and Vivo on an eco.
This is the way it can play out, right? We've had a few close rounds now. Vivo are going to pay the price for it. 14-9, you were almost looking like, yeah, they're going to secure the 15th round. They will sit on match point. Instead, GoHome come out all guns blazing, and Simo doesn't have a weapon. Why?
Is there one in spawn that she got to pick up,
got to
or
drop.
did she just run out of money? It's one or the other. Look at this, her aggression. It probably won't matter too much because we have pistols in play on the CT side. 1 kill is found from Gabby, but that should be it. Gabby doubles down. This is pretty interesting now. Bomb's under the control of the CTs. What's going on here? Simo still doesn't have a gun to work with, trying to glock these players, and they actually have armor, so it's not easy. But there's a wrap coming from lower mid. Bazina going to catch 2 kills, and what's going on? Key barely investing into this round, and now it's a 1v1. Simo's finally found a weapon to work with, thank God, but Bazina's going to nade her and finish it off as well. 15 rounds up for Keyd. What on earth did we just see, Banks?
That was huge. Bizina should have never been able to get them 2 kills. It was like a really risky play, sending so many towards middle from GoHome. They haven't done that at all until now. And they choose to do it on a round where they should have known that Vivo were going to be up on pistols. Now we're at match point, and GoHome have nothing to work with. A UMP for CZs, and fair enough, you got utility and armor, but do you think that's really going to work in this situation when you're now this far behind? And Vivo, they've got that confidence.
Yeah, Cammy's already gone for the aggro AWP peak, and in fact, we got 2 in play, 1 towards the B site, so that may hinder the rotations in terms of retaking, but Joltney on top of the smoke as well. Cammy's still up in the apartments. And GoHome, they've already given up on this one. They are going to be going home, wrapping back towards T-spawn, not wanting to hit this A bomb site. Hazel hiding in the house, and Leo still with her up on ramp. Maybe Team GoHome want to split this mid area to try and get connect control, but look at the bomb position. If they want to commit anywhere, they need to pick that one back up. They lost control of it in the previous round, and it cost them an anti-eco. They can't afford to lose anything else, because this is map and match point here for Vivo. 3 players on the A bomb site. GoHome do go back to commit. I like that they establish early A control. They go back to mid to make sure Vivo haven't got aggressive and have a hot flank off B. You know, if you push apartments, you can then go for that B stack. You know, I'm surprised to see Vivo play so passive, but the thing is, it doesn't even matter. They're going to have the weaponry to deal with this push once it comes through, regardless of whether they have a pick or not. So 40 seconds left, smoke starting to rain over, and Vivo, what can they show?
GoHome are going to go and push into this A site. Joltney finds the first one, but she's spraying down completely blind. Does get taken down. The UMP putting in the work. That's the best thing that they could have hoped for. Bomb's going to be planted as well. It's going to give at least a bit of pressure now towards the CT side. Cammy's there. Can't find a shot either. Are they going to manage to make this happen? 4v3. Bomb is down. They've grabbed themselves the orb. Despite finding 2 kills, they haven't picked up another weapon just yet. Simo's going to be passed over, and I love this from 129. Pushing all the way around. Trying to play it smart. 720. Found one for herself. The CZs putting in work around they should have never lost, and 720 continuing to do the damage. Simo with the final kill, and it's not over until it's over. You've got to get them 16 rounds. There's nothing guaranteed here in Counter-Strike, and Vivo again are going to be very low. Only Bizner with good money to play with it. Everyone else below 2k.
We've seen a hell of a lot of eco wins in this game, or force by wins at the very least. Both teams doing a good job at that, but big mistakes being made. And yeah, as you say it, no money here for Vivo. This should be an 11th for GoHome, but we've seen them lose this round before, so can't afford to do the same again. 15 to 10, and already first pick going their way. 720 spots the underpass push, and she'll be able to finish off Bazina as well. It's going to be fairly simple here for the T side. Not much control shown by the pistols, but it's to be expected. This is how your standard anti-eco should go, Banks. They're learning. So 11 rounds on the board. Yeah, they take it flawlessly, but now moving forward, it might have to be another eco.
Double,
here. In fact,
double.
It will be.
Surely a double eco.
Right investment, pistols, armor. You know, the round they actually won in that mid push, the same kind of buy, because they will have loss bonus building up, but you can't really drop below 2,500 here because they haven't got max loss. No. They've only got 3 rounds after this.
A round that Vivo probably thought, we've completely got this. They played a little bit aggressive, right? We saw what Joltney's position was, and now we see the Chinese team going incredibly aggressive onto A. Not even an execute, right? They just literally ran out into it. Will they pay the price, though? Cammy's still in a good spot to do some further damage. Runs out, but she's unable to make it work. This is just going to be the Chinese players trying to close it out now. 720, just dancing around there on very low health, still manages to stay alive.
Such bait.
Yeah, it's like, here I am. No, I'm not. And then instantly walks to her death. Bizner, though, the only one left alive. They know they saw her in connector. Or did they? They seem to have known it because there was so much thrown towards connector. But now they're maybe not so sure. Bizner just basically needs to hope for a weapon here because that's going to be key for Vivo.
They spotted her. 129 should be able to finish off the kill as well. Doesn't really matter. This round's over. She's not going to save anything, so she's just looking for damage, maybe take a gun away from them. Can hurt their economy later in the game, especially with how close this match still is. You know, while it looks crazy good for Keek being 15 rounds up, they've got 2 buy rounds left in this game until we hit OT, Banks. They've got this round. If they lose it 13 up, then an anti-eco to 14, and then they've got the buy to play for round 30. So Vivo, 2 opportunities, or 2 real opportunities to win this game in regulation. You can see loss bonus only up to 3 rounds here, so it will max out sooner rather than later, but this probably needs to be it here for Vivo. There's gonna be a buy, as I said, 15-14, but close it out before GoHome get close, I would say.
If Vivo don't close out now, we get a real struggle for them, like long range, because it's going to be the economy struggle and it's going to be the potential for a massive overtime.
Thing is, they will have max loss, so they're going to have at least 6k coming into the 30th round. So it won't be an issue as long as they don't force up after losing this, you'd hope. But they've shown pretty good economy management so far on the CT side, and that's something that a lot of teams can struggle with. So I'm not worried for Keyd being able to fight to that 30th. assuming they, don't force. And hell, if they get 4 kills here and they force, that could be dangerous because GoHome have money. That's something Key need to be aware of. And into this round, it's an underpass split back to a standard A take, but with only 2 players in out of the A bomb site and one of them only on ramp. There's not a lot of options here for a smoke execute, something that again GoHome have been relying on. But look at this push from Joltney. She's got a lot of info. If Pan does the same as well, this is a really good setup. They need to be aware that they can be split from the connector, but that's exactly where the AWP of Cammy is watching. This is a really good setup for what GoHome are showing. Cammy is posted. She'll get the shot from the ticket booth. Hazel dead in the connector, and now this split needs to come through. The aggressive ramp play, will it work out? Simo's only coming up with the bomb, and if that's dropped with 30 seconds left, this could be over, but the numbers again up on the board. 720 and 129 with an entry each. Simo, 2 kills as well coming up through the ramp, and that has done it for GoHome. There's only 1 player left up. This should be GoHome's round.
We see a pause coming in already. That's terrible, though. To say the pause now means like Vivo's just kind of given up on this round. There's still potential she could clutch this out, right? It's not always just over straight away. As Simo goes down, she is low now. She's got the Incendiary to play with. Both players are playing a good crossfire angle.
Oh, dangerous.
Walking into the flames, and we'll tap it away though, so we'll see the next round brought in for the Chinese side. The pause is going to come in, and rightly so. We haven't actually seen that many pauses throughout this side though. Well, compared to the Dignitas game, there was a lot of pauses in that match. It was very back and forth, and these guys, they've held strong. They don't feel like they need it.
Well, there's not really been much need for pause because it has been so back and forth. It's not like there's been a huge stomp. The most rounds we saw in a row were 5. So I'd say pauses are less likely to come out when you have streaks of 5 and 4 back and forth than when you have a streak of 7 like we had in that Dignitas game. It was 7-0 before we even saw Dig get around on the board. But as you pointed out, Banks, 30 kills on 720. She is destroying right now.
Yes, 720. She's come up time and time again. Clutch rounds, being the opener, being the lurk. She's just running around the map causing chaos.
And this is what we talked about with the money for Vivo. So they got lost. You can see 2,900 in their accounts after that round, plus any kill money or saved cash. So around 3K. They'll get 34 next round. So if they buy down to 25 now, they'll be absolutely fine. They'll be up to 6K next round, which is, of course, no issue. If you're not buying an AWP, you can put a bit more money in this round. If you do the maths, where you have this short tactical break for Vivo, you can actually work out exactly how much money you need, and therefore exactly how much you can invest into this round, and depending on what you want to buy next.
I'm wondering though if this tactical timeout is asking, like, if Vivo are thinking, do we just go for it? Do we do any force?
No.
Do we have a plan?
Terrible,
Surely not. It'd be a terrible idea. But they may be thinking like, okay, can we try and catch them off guard before we've done it once already?
They've invested a good 800 each, so on most of these players. So that shows they're just getting pistols and maybe some utility, maybe a bit of Kevlar as well. That would be a risk that you shouldn't take, especially not throwing away a match point like that. Maybe at a earlier point in the game you want to game the economy, but at this point that there's no benefit to forcing up here. GoHome have the money. It's not like we have a couple of SMGs and GoHome and Vivo go, hey, if we pull in pistols we can beat this. They're against full rifles, so safe buy, utility, couple of smokes, couple of pistols, bit of armor, nothing too heavy here, and I like that for Vivo. Play safe. They will have that full buy next round. Double ult potential. We've seen them run it on Gabby in the B apps as well as in Cammy and A, so that's always on the cards. But with the amount of executes we've been seeing go well for GoHome and the amount of retakes, I doubt we'll see 2 AWPs in play. Either way, it's a fast execute for GoHome again. Fast towards the connector. It's 129 looking for the opener. Jolly, where's that from? 2 in the connector with her CZ75. This round is turned on its head. It could happen. She's got an AK. Looking for more. She takes down 720, the top performer of the other team, but she's traded. And double kill from 129.
Wow, if they could win this round, that would be insane. 129, 3 health, Simo on 60. The bomb may be planted, but Gabby, she's got herself in a good position. She's got the P250 to play. If she knows where the players are, business down the AK, 1 kill, and a second! Gabby does it with the P250 to close it out, 16-13.
Okay.
And Vivo KeydStars, they will take the win. They will be facing Dignitas in the next game, and that is where things get interesting. Hugo.
They didn't even need the force there, Banks. They didn't even need the force. Pistols, who needs armor? Who needs armor? Like, that is not a round that they should be expecting to win, of course. If they were, they would have forced, as you said.
Never.
And Joltney just goes and gets 2 kills with the connector, and then picks up an AK, just boom. And that's not the first time we've seen a round go the way of Key because of one player just with a pistol going crazy. Yeah. Look back to Bazina in mid, when she caught those 2 players coming out the underpass of the CZ.
Yes,
and then they
when
killed the
they're
player
going
at
towards
top mid
short,
when they
yeah.
had bomb. You know, massive mistakes made from eHome multiple times. They ran through the connector smoke. They didn't check the corner, and they paid the price, and that will be the victory. But positives to take away from that game. That was a very close match.
Yeah, that was very close. Both teams showed that they have that raw skill and aim. That's 100% there. Vivo were pushed to their limits, I'd say. Obviously, we didn't see it go 16-14 or into overtimes, but I think at the beginning, they definitely not underestimated them, but didn't expect them to be so on point with how they were reacting, because Joltney is very much used to having that aggressive style. And when we see them play in the South American regions and South American games, she can just run around and have that freedom. She quickly realized here that, okay, I've got to change it up a little bit. I've got to play it smart. But you got to also say 720. What a score. Like, she was wrecking faces. And she was a big reason why, if we went looked back through that game, there's so many rounds that were key just because of her.
Do you want the ballsiest prediction of this event?
Oh, God, go on.
I think these 2 teams are going to go out of groups. After seeing that game and after comparing it to the quality of the game earlier, I think individually these players are a step above. I didn't see any
So you think these 2 are going to make it?
Yeah, I think these 2 are going to make it. I honestly think best of 1. So who knows?
Yeah,
I'm
best of
calling
1, this could
upsets,
happen.
right? You know, there's no best of 3s in this group. So I think it's totally possible. I think, because obviously now the next match is going to be Keyd versus Dig. I think they're going to win it.
I am really excited for that game. Guys, we're going to go for just a few minutes break. We'll be bringing you Dignitas taking on KeydStars very next. We can't wait to see how it's going to go down. It's going to really decide on what's going to happen here on the groups. So make sure you stick with us here at the Intel Channel in Katowice.